Welcome to another episode of Quiet Power, Productivity and Mindset Transformation. Got another new episode today. And what I want to discuss is knowing the condition of what you are responsible for. There is an old piece of wisdom that has been sitting with me. It comes from the book of Proverbs, and on the surface, it is about livestock, about shepherds and farmers and the practical business of knowing what you have been given to look after. The scripture says, be diligent to know the condition of your flocks. Pay attention to your herds. That is it. It's simple, direct, and to the point. But the longer I sat with it, the more I realize it's not about the livestock at all, really. It's about the most important question any person in the middle of rebuilding their life can ask themselves. Do you actually know the condition of what you are responsible for? Not what you hope the condition is, not what it was 6 months ago, not what it will be once things settle right now, today. Do you know? Most people in the middle of reinvention are looking forward. They are focused on what is coming, on who they are becoming, on the next version of their life, and what it is going to require of them. And that forward focus is necessary. You cannot rebuild without a direction to build towards. But there is a thing that happens when all of your attention goes forward. What is already in your care starts to suffer without you noticing. Not dramatically, not all at once, quietly, the way a garden goes when you stop paying attention to it. It's a slow drift towards something you did not intend. The shepherd who is too busy planning the next season does not notice the flock thinning. The man who is so focused on who he is becoming does not notice what he is neglecting in the meantime. And the verse does not say, think about your flocks. It does not say, intend to check on your flocks. It says, be diligent to know the condition of them. Diligence is not a passive word. It is not an occasional attention or good intentions. It is active, consistent, and honest of what is actually true right now. Most people avoid that, not out of laziness, mostly out of fear of what honest assessment might reveal. Because knowing the condition of something means you are now responsible for responding to what you find. And that is a weight not everyone is ready to pick up. Let me bring this metaphor together. Your flocks are not livestock. They are everything that has been placed in your care. Your health, your mind, your closest relationships, your word to yourself about the work you said you were going to do, the people who depend on you to show up in a particular way, the version of your life you said you were building. All of it is your flock. All of it has a condition, and the condition changes whether you were paying attention or not. Here's what diligence actually looks like applied to a life rather than a field. It looks like honest questions on a regular basis without waiting for a crisis to force the asking. How is my body actually doing right now? Not how do I plan to treat it better next month? How present have I actually been in the relationships that matter to me? Not how present do I intend to be? Where is my word to myself right now? The commitment I made in January, the thing I said this would be the year for. What is the actual condition of that? Most people only check the condition of their life when something breaks, when the health scare happens, when the relationship reaches a breaking point, when the thing they were building collapses because it's not being tended to properly. By then, the flock has already suffered. The neglect already has a cost, and the recovery takes longer than the tending would have. This is what the shepherd understood that modern life has largely forgotten. The flock does not announce when it starts to drift. It does not send a warning before it begins to thin. It just responds to whatever level of attention it is receiving. Give it consistent, honest care, and it grows. Neglect it while you were busy in other things, and it quietly becomes something less than what it was. Your life works exactly the same way. The things in your care respond to attention, not to intention, not to the plan you have for them next quarter, to actual present attention, the kind that notices what is true right now and responds to it honestly. So here's the part that matters the most for the person in the middle of reinvention. When you are rebuilding your life, you are by definition carrying more than usual. Old things that need closing, new things that need building, the weight of who you were, and the work of becoming who you are. That is a full load. And in the middle of that load, it is easy to tell yourself that tending to the details will come later. But the bigger picture is becoming clearer. Once the new chapter is more established, and once you are through the hardest part. But the flocks do not wait for your timeline. The condition of what you are responsible for is happening in real time, right now, regardless of where you are in your own process. And the man who comes out of reinvention with everything in good order is not the man who figured out the big picture first. He is the man who kept paying attention to the small things while the big picture was still becoming clear. Diligence is not glamorous. It does not make for a dramatic story. Nobody writes about the shepherd who checked on his flock every morning and found everything in order. But that shepherd's flock is the one that survives the season. The verse does not say occasionally glance at your flocks when you have time. It says be diligent to know their condition. The word diligent means careful and persistent effort. It means the attention is regular, it is honest, and it does not look away from what it finds. That is the standard, not perfection, not having everything under control, just regular, honest attention to what is in your care and the willingness to respond to what you actually find. So, before I close this out, I want you to do one thing. Not tomorrow, right now, in the next few minutes after this ends. Name three things most in your care right now. The three things that have been placed in your keeping that depend on your attention to remain in good condition. And then ask yourself, what is the actual condition of each one today? Not what you hope, not what you intend, but what is actually true right now. That honest answer is the beginning of diligence. Everything else follows from it. Know the condition of what you are responsible for. Everything else will grow from there. So, yeah, this is another episode of Quiet Power Podcast. I definitely appreciate all the subscribers and followers, man. This list steady growing. Definitely enjoying the feedback as well. I'll be back again this week at some point. And then, of course, on Saturday with the newsletter every Saturday. So definitely subscribe for free, man. Share it, like all those good things, and enjoy your Wednesday. Be out. Oh, my bad. I don't say we out. Until next time. There we go.